All right, my friends. Let's do this. It's time for episode number 123. Not 122, it's 123. Last week I said it was 121, but it was actually 122. This is definitely 123 of my Sunday night Stay-At-Homebodies virtual open mic, where I post a set here on YouTube every Sunday night, usually on a theme to help me select my tunes out of the millions that I've written. And then I repost that over on Facebook, also 8 o'clock Pacific time. And then over there on Facebook, I post all the musical friends of mine who I'm in the process of listening to. I track down their new stuff, their old stuff, and I listen to my musical friends on Sunday night. It's like a little virtual open mic for me, and I post it on Facebook there just in case anybody else wants to join me. So before I tell you about tonight's festivities, let me light some incense, the Japanese stuff, the good stuff that I like, Shiedo incense. And then I'll light the Dylan light, and then I'll hit the little mood light. And then we'll be ready to get going. So, light a little bit of incense. And we'll light the Dylan light. We'll continue our pregame with a little old school local Oregon green. Cheers to you. Tiny nip of the Dylan whiskey. Ooh. All right. Getting our stuff together here. Got to get this set in before I'm going on a safari right after this. Just kidding. I just have a khaki colored hat. That's all I got. Khaki colored hat. All right. Got the hat. It's impossible to adjust your hat in a camera because everything's reversed. So what you do is you just take it off and you put it back on. There you go. All right. So we're going to continue with a theme that I pick up from time to time. It's called Here and Now Songs. This is Part 5, Here and Now songs. And these are songs where the concept of here or now figures in the song somewhere. This one is called I'm Working Now. I work through summer, I work through fall, I work through winter, I work them all. I work through Christmas and Halloween. I worked on weekends through the quarantine. I work it in, I work it out. I'm working that, I worked it then. I'm working now. I'm working even when I play. I'm working every single day. I work through anger, I work through fear, I work through silence, I work through tears. I work through trouble, I work through school, I work on balance and the golden rule. I work it up, I work it down. I worked it then, working now. I'm working even when I play. I'm working every blessed day. I work through headaches, I work through chills, I work through fevers, I work through bills, I work through fires, I work through rain, I work through pleasures, I work through pain, I worked it through, I work around. I worked it then, I work it now. I'm working even when I play. I'm working every perfect day. I work through blackouts, I work through snow, I work in places that no one knows. I work on music, I work on flow. I'm working everywhere I go. I work the words, I work the sound. I worked it then, I'm working now. I'm working even when I play. I'm working every single day. I forgot to unplug my phone. Thank goodness it happened right there at the end. This is I'm working now. That one's true story. The learning to mouse left-handed continues. So bear with me as I take a little more time than usual to do me mousing, because I'm learning to use my left hand, and I gotta say. It's affecting my brain. I hope in a good way. I'm developing more coordination on my left side. My left hand punches are coming in cleaner on the old pads. Cure for war and a cure for cancer. A Christmas song about Prancer and Dancer. I used to call you but you wouldn't answer. Nothing's impossible now. Nothing's impossible now. Nothing's impossible now. If If you are really in love with me, nothing's impossible now. The world could go back and be flat once again. We could sit down and write letters by pen. Cats could be trained to count up to 10. Nothing's impossible now. Nothing's impossible now. Nothing's impossible now. If you are really in love with me, nothing's impossible now. Gravity might be just a suggestion. We could trade all of our answers for questions. Now that your love is the church I've been blessed in, nothing's impossible now. Nothing's impossible now. Nothing's impossible now. If you are really in love with me, nothing's impossible now. Bluegrass bands could play really slow songs. Circles and squares could all get along. The president could admit he was wrong. Hey, nothing's impossible now. Doctors could pay you when they showed up late. I could be cheerful at 7:45. Now that you've asked me out on a date, nothing's impossible now. The Berlin Wall and the man on the moon, cracks in the stone we could walk right through. You loving me and me loving you, nothing's impossible now. Folk music back at the top of the charts, everyone singing and playing guitars, everyone dancing wherever they are, nothing's impossible now. All of our power could come from the sun, flowers could grow from the barrels of guns. Now that you said that I am the one, nothing's impossible now. Nothing's impossible now. Nothing's impossible now. If you are really in love with me, nothing's impossible. Nothing's impossible. Nothing's impossible now. There we go. Nothing's impossible now. There we go. The left mousing continues. That was a song that turned out to be kind of a pivotal tune for me because I was, I think it's a funny turn of events. I was really interested in the songs of The Wizard of Oz. I really loved the If I Only Had a Brain. I heard that Harry Connick Jr. did a slow jazzy version of it, and it came up in some context, and I started to learn it, and so I was playing it for a friend of mine, and he said, hey, Do you know the Scarecrow, the heart verse? And I was like, oh, I didn't even know there was a heart verse. All I knew was if I only had a brain, and that's the Scarecrow one. The Tin Man is the heart one, right? Anyway, the Cowardly Lion, I don't know, one of them. I get them mixed up. The Cowardly Lion one, he wanted courage. Tin Man wanted heart, and the Scarecrow wanted a brain. Okay, so anyway. So I listened to it, and when a man's an empty kettle, he should be on his mettle. And yeah, it's a great song. So I learned that, and then I learned the Cowardly Lion verse as well, and I put them together into a little medley. But especially that verse, wherefore art thou, Romeo? I feel a beat. All this great references and this very clever wordplay that gets across this kind of tender message, and it really inspired me, and I found myself wanting to either write a song like that and then try to do it, or it just came out that, like, I knew Nothing's Impossible Now was that kind of song. It had a certain a simplicity and a certain clever, or attempt to use clever references to say something, and featuring wordplay in a certain kind of way, and that opened the door to a lot of songwriting. I got a big chunk of songs, probably 30 or more songs that are kind of like that, in have that particular, dare I say, charm. So thanks to those guys for writing those songs. That would have been Harold Arlen and Yip Harburg, and so yeah, that particular kind of wordplay. Now this was pre that, so this isn't that kind of wordplay at all. This is takes me back to junior high school. Everybody knows it's her turn now. Last year, this year, a different world somehow. She was just another skinny kid with a motor mouth, but everybody knows it's her turn now. It's her turn now. The work at the ice cream store, it's her turn now. Ask if we want something more. It's her turn now to turn our heads. Everybody knows it's her turn now. Everybody knows it's her turn now. Everybody knows it's her turn now. She smiles, we smile, the world's alright somehow. She can be the light that we just spin around. Everybody knows it's her turn now. It's her turn now to hang our wishes on. It's her turn now. The love in our love song, it's her turn now to turn our heads. Everybody knows it's her turn now. Everybody knows it's her turn now. Nothing seems to be as pretty as she is. Nothing seems to be worth more than just one kiss. Everybody knows it's her turn now. She knows, we know, it's a different world somehow. She can make us melt like an ice cream on the ground. Everybody knows it's her turn now. It's her turn now to hang our wishes on. It's her turn now to be the love in our love song. It's her turn now to turn our heads. Everybody knows it's her turn now. Everybody knows it's her turn now. Everybody knows it. All right, that was from an old 1998. Oh my God. Once upon a time, 1998 seemed like a futuristic year in my life. Seemed like the far-off science fiction, flying car having, computers do all our work for us kind of future. But now it's freaking 27 years ago. Crazy. All my songs, old and new, except for the very old and the very new, are up on my website, geneburnett.com. Just go to musical recordings, 41 albums there. You can pick any one you want, listen to the songs. And if you want to download them, there's a little arrow and you can just take it right home with you. It's all free. I have a PayPal donation link there, and I have one here. It's great to get tips. It helps me stay afloat, but it's not a big deal. It's not why I do this. So, yeah, I'd rather you take all the songs and share them with all your friends. Comments are nice. It's always nice to know any of this is useful to anybody, but there's the tip jar is strictly optional. And what else do I want to say? I do this every Sunday night. I post a set at 8 o'clock here on YouTube, repost it on Facebook. Under that Facebook post, I list all the musical friends who I'm in the process of listening to and where I am in their discographies or videos or whatever. So you can join me if you wish, or if you have something you'd like me to listen to, if you're a friend of mine or this channel, put a video of you doing your stuff underneath this video, or post it on Facebook, even better, 8 o'clock Sunday nights on my timeline over there on Facebook. Thank you, everybody. Breathe deep if you're able. Take a nice deep breath. Boy, 10 of those a day will change your life. I'm not kidding. When the other side comes, let's both be on it. All right, later.